car that is set to make life exceedingly difficult for Audi's recently introduced S5 Coupe, no doubt, the 2017 S5 Sportback. Offering an extra pair of doors and a versatile liftback-style tailgate over its two-door sibling, the new 5-seater has been developed from the ground up as part of the second-generation A5 Sportback lineup. Among its rivals are the BMW 440i Grand Coupe and Mercedes-AMG C43 Coupe. It might be all new, but the styling of the S5 Sportback is predictable. Having hit on a formula with the first-generation model that appeared to sit well with its customers, Audi has resisted any urge to adopt major design changes. It's a lot more striking in the metal than in pictures, especially on optional 19-inch wheels, but you have to wonder whether Audi has done enough to ensure it will still look fresh towards the end of its 7-year model cycle. Based on Audi's latest MLB platform, the S5 Sportback has grown, albeit only slightly. Length is up by 21 mm, width extends by 11 mm and height has decreased by 5 mm. The wheelbase is also 14 mm longer than before, extending to 2,824 mm. As with the latest S5 Coupe, it receives a slightly different chassis than the S4 Saloon, with respective front and rear track widths of 1,587 mm and 1,568 mm. The bump in dimensions provides the basis for a 17 mm lengthening of the cabin, allowing incremental increases in rear legroom and additional boot space. Yet despite growing in size, the new S5 Sportback boasts a commendable 85 kg reduction in weight over predecessor, at 1,660 kg. Under the bonnet is a new turbocharged 3.0-liter V6 petrol engine. The 60-deg unit forms part of the modular EA838 range of engines, the most powerful of which is destined to power the upcoming RS5 Sportback. Innovations include Audi's patented valve lift system, with continuously adjusting camshafts and center-mounted spark plugs contributing to improved combustion efficiency and improved response. With 349 bhp, the new engine delivers 21 bhp more than its predecessor, but more important is a 45 pounds-foot lift in torque, to 369 pounds-foot, produced between 1380 and 4500 revolutions per minute. The S5 Sportback receives an 8-speed torque converter automatic gearbox as standard, with a Tiptronic shift function and steering wheel-mounted shift paddles. Drive is sent to all four wheels via the latest version of Audi's Torsen Torque Sensing Quattro four-wheel drive system. Under normal conditions, 40% of drive is sent to the front wheels and the remaining 60% to the rear, but depending on prevailing grip, up to 70% of drive can now be sent to the front or up to 85% to the rear. A sport differential, which continuously varies the amount of drive to each individual rear wheel, is available as an option. The initial impression is one of thoroughness. Its design may lean heavily on that of its predecessor, but the subtle styling nuances and overall precision in the fit of its frameless doors is quite superb. The attention to detail continues in the cabin, which carries a combination of materials and controls of a much higher perceived quality than those found in its BMW or Mercedes-AMG rivals. The front sports seats offer plenty of lateral support and a reasonable amount of adjustment, and all-round visibility is sound, although the C-pillars sometimes prove an impediment during quick over-shoulder glances. The dashboard and wide center console house the latest evolution of Audi's MMI infotainment system. A 7.0-inch center-mounted display is standard, although the 12.3-inch virtual cockpit and head-up display unit of our test car remain options. Well-shaped rear door apertures provide a good if not excellent access. Adults can be accommodated in the back, although the heavy curvature of the roof means headroom is a little limited. For the record, Audi claims an added 24 mm of knee room and 11 mm of extra shoulder room. An electronically operated tailgate is standard, while the boot has a 15-liter increase in capacity over its predecessor, at 480 liters. With 40/20/40 split rear seats folded, this can be extended to 1,300 liters. Positive impressions continue as you get underway. With greater torque arriving earlier in the rev range, the S5 Sportback proves highly flexible and responsive around town. In lower gears out on the open road it pulls with real earnest when its reserves are unleashed with a heavy nudge of the throttle, propelling the new 5-door liftback along with great authority. An alluring soundtrack accompanies this flexibility and urgency. On light throttle loads there's a raspy exhaust note that grows in volume and intensity, ultimately becoming quite menacing in dynamic mode on the approach to the 7,500 revolutions per minute redline. The 8-speed automatic gearbox offers greater smoothness than the old 7-speed S-tronic dual-clutch automatic, especially on downshifts, although it did balk occasionally when hurried with rapid-fire manual shifts at higher revs. Audi claims a 0 to 62 miles per hour time of 4.7 seconds, which is 0.4 seconds quicker than the old S5 Sportback. Despite the extra performance, fuel consumption is improved by 2.0 miles per gallon at 38.7 miles per gallon, while CO2 emissions are rated at 166 grams/km. The handling is well resolved, although enthusiasts may bemoan a lack of real involvement over challenging roads. With excellent body control and improved balance you can carry impressive speed through corners. Overall there is greater fluidity and sense of willingness to the new S5 Sportback compared to its predecessor, but it fails to offer the outright verve of the 440i Grand Coupe or the feedback of the C43 Coupe. Grip is always in abundance thanks to the fast-acting qualities of the Quattro four-wheel drive system. Yet while the steering offers improved response upon turn-in, it lacks the communication required to make the S5 Sportback a truly great handling car rather than merely a highly accomplished one. Crucially, the ride is much improved, with more supple low-speed qualities and improved authority on broken roads in comfort mode. Sport mode stiffens things, although the overall composure remains. It is a big improvement, adding a degree of comfort that was lacking before. The suspension also isolates road noise better than it did. It's arguably better looking, more spacious and better to drive than its predecessor and offers a calmer ride. So if you're in the market for a quality executive class car you'd be foolish not to consider the new S5 Sportback. It's quick, too. The new engine adds a further dimension in performance while offering improved economy and lower emissions. There's greater involvement to be had from its rivals, although the Audi must be commended for its overall refinement, which is extremely impressive and at the root of its appeal. Audi has announced pricing for the S5 Sportback, with its £47,000 entry point putting it about on par with Mercedes C43 Coupe, but some way adrift of the cheaper BMW 440i Grand Coupe. But if the familiar styling is to your taste and the versatile interior fits your lifestyle, then we'd understand why you'd choose it above the Coupe S5, or indeed, either of these rivals.